Did you know that the recommended serving size for fruits and vegetables for the average person is 5 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables per day? Even if you were to take the middle value of that, which would be around 8 or 9 servings, that's still a lot and extremely hard to accomplish, even for healthy individuals, and especially for kids. If you have kids, a recipe that involves making a smoothie or making frozen ice pops out of smoothie-like materials can be really good for you to give your kids that extra serving that they need. My name is Ellie, and I'm gonna show you how to make a delicious smoothie that's nice and thick and not too thin for you and your family to try. Okay, so what you'll need a blender. Any kind will do as long as it has medium or low speed. You'll need some yogurt. I use Greek yogurt. I use Siggy's brand in the vanilla flavor because I don't want it to mix poorly with the other flavors that I'm gonna be using. You'll need some frozen fruit. I use a triple berry mix, which is blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. But you can really use any kind of mix that you want. I also get this giant Wegmans bag because I make a smoothie almost every day. So it's easier if I just have a really big bag I can use. You will also want to use some fresh fruit. I have strawberries and pineapple today, but it doesn't have to be the same thing every time or the same fruits that I use. I just really like strawberries and pineapple with this berry mix, so I think it goes well together. You're also gonna want a frozen banana. This is really important for the texture and the thickness of the smoothie. My banana's a little bit melted right now because I just put it in earlier today, but you can take a fresh banana and peel it, put it in a bag, and then put it in the freezer, or you can buy them pre-frozen, up to you. You're gonna want some spinach because this is how you get an extra vegetable in there. Spinach is already pretty flavorless, so when you add this in, it just makes it even easier to blend in there. You're gonna want some milk or water. I use 2% milk. Almond milk is a really good one. That's what a lot of my friends use when they make a smoothie. And then some optional items would be peanut butter. I love peanut butter, so I'm gonna put it in my smoothie because it's a good fat source and also a good protein source. And then also some protein powder. I like to add protein powder in my smoothies because I'm always lacking on protein. I get an unflavored protein powder that I use. I just put 1 scoop in 1 serving. But you don't have to put protein powder, and you can use vanilla flavor or a fruit flavor if you do want to add protein powder and don't want to use an unflavored one. All right, so to get started, I always put my frozen banana in first because, like I said, it's for the texture. So when you put that in, you just plop it right in your blender. Make sure your blender is plugged in and everything. Also wash your hands. I just washed my hands before I made this, so I'm not too worried about it. And then I put my frozen fruit. Just open the bag. I just shake a little bit in there. It's not really a precise thing. That looks pretty good to me because I also have fresh fruit, so I don't want to overdo the fruit, but I do put about like 1 cup, which is about 1 serving of fruit. Then I take some of my fresh fruit, some fresh strawberries. I'm gonna put about half of this cup in there. That's pretty good. And some of my pineapple. I'm not gonna dump this though because I don't want pineapple juice in there because too much liquid ruins the texture. You don't have to put it in this order either, except for the banana on the bottom. That is the most important thing for the thickness when you're blending. So I always put my frozen banana on the bottom. But everything else doesn't have to necessarily be in this order as long as you just put it in there. Next, I put my yogurt. Usually I take a knife because it needs a little mixing because it's Greek yogurt. So I mix it up a little bit. I can show you. It's like just Greek yogurt. I'm sure you've had Greek yogurt before. And then I just take it and put like 2 spoonfuls. Yum. Close that up. And then we take our spinach. I just take a big handful usually, which is about a cup. A cup is pretty much 1 serving of fruits and vegetables, so I just take like a big handful and squish it in there, kind of condense it, push the food down a little bit, whatever works. Okay, and then finally I put my peanut butter and my protein powder in. So for my peanut butter, well, it's all kind of in the bottom right now, but I just take a knife and do like just like a big little plop of it and just smack that in there. Obviously this is optional, as I said, so you don't have to have peanut butter, but I like to have peanut butter in my smoothies. And then protein powder. Just take one little scoop. Steve, my cat's saying hello. Protein powder. Oh, sorry, buddy. Shake it on in. Close that up. And this is important too. The only 2 ingredients that you have to add in at a specific time are the banana and the liquid. I always add the liquid last because I like to see how full my blender gets with my food. So I usually add about a tablespoon or just like a little splash. There's no like perfect number for this, but I like my smoothies thicker, and if you like them thick, I wouldn't add too much liquid, but if you like them thinner, you can add a little bit more liquid. The liquid is what gets the consistency. So once I do all that, I get the cap to my blender, and my little blender stick, and I put my cap on, and I don't have like, I have another cap, I'll show you to explain this. So usually blenders have the little clear thing that goes over the top. I don't put that on when I'm blending because I use this food stick jammer to keep everything contained and keep the food pushed down. Okay, so to work your blender, you're gonna wanna turn it on. Every blender is different, so I'm not sure where the turn on button is for you, but for me, my turn on button's over here. And then I have a dial that I can turn. Some blenders do, some blenders don't. But you want to start on the lowest setting, and then you just press start, and see how it's blending down here. I take the food plunger, and I just plunge all the food down. Keep plunging it down. And basically, you just plunge all the food down until it's like a chunky consistency. And I'll show you that once I'm done plunging. So here, I plunged all the food down. You see how there's still like chunks of spinach and stuff? So that's after plunging on the low setting and spinning on the low setting and blending that way. So then after I do that, I turn the dial up a little bit and blend at a higher setting so that I can smooth out all those chunks while still keeping the consistency that I started with. So I'm gonna do that now. I usually put it on a medium setting. I consider the first setting that we used a low setting. So then I turn it back down after I've turned it up to that medium setting, and then I stop the blending with the little on, off, start, stop switch. And I will take out my food plunger and put it in the nearest sink so that it doesn't make a huge mess. And then I take my cups. Oh, I forgot to mention in the beginning, you're gonna want cups. Kind of a given. Take my cups. I use straws. You don't have to use straws. I know we just watched a presentation on not using straws, but I like to use a straw for my smoothie. And then you just pour it up into a cup. And I'm gonna bring it closer this time so you can see the consistency, because that's what my smoothie's all about. As you can see, it's liquidy, but it's still thick. It's kind of like a milkshake consistency. That's what I would consider it. I don't like a super thin smoothie. I guess one thing that I would like to mention is a little warning. If you have allergies or if you don't like some of the ingredients, you don't have to use them. You can do whatever makes you happy or whatever you want. And I also would mention, if you don't have a food plunger, don't worry, you don't need to use one. I just prefer to use one. It's easier for me to use one that way. But if you don't have one, don't put anything metal in your blender, as it will break your blender. I learned that the hard way. So with all of that, I would just like to say thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and also put in a little extra research on the internet if you want to learn more about smoothies or about blenders or how anything works. You never know what exactly is right for you until you try it. So thank you for watching. Bye.